Heavy, wet snow has arrived, but we've been told this is just the beginning. We've got the rest of today, tomorrow, and Thursday to be concerned about.
And now we have our first road closure, I-94 from the Montana border to Jamestown. And Bismarck has declared a snow emergency beginning at 7. Let's go to Kevin Lawrence for the latest on the weather.
Alan, Monica, thank you very much. And good evening, everybody. We are in the midst of a historic blizzard that's only going to get more intense as the night wears on all day tomorrow and into early Thursday. As mentioned here, the snow is going to fall. And actually, those in Williston, a lot of questions in the Williston area. Is it going to get a lot heavier? I believe it will, but not until later this evening. But the snow has started to fall here in the Williston area where it's 20 degrees, north winds up to 30 miles per hour. Dickinson in the midst of a blizzard here, reports of anywhere between 8 and 10 inches. It's hard to measure, though, when the wind is whipping around like this, but 21 degrees and reduced visibilities. Bismarck, Mandan, I'm estimating about 8 to 10 inches so far. There was a report, an official Weather Service report earlier this morning of 5 inches. I think we've had at least an additional 5 since then. So closing in on a foot here by probably mid-evening, 27 degrees, winds gusting to 40 miles per hour. And in Minot, not much accumulation yet, maybe an inch or two, but Minot could be the epicenter of some of the highest totals because this storm continues to ramp up tonight and all day tomorrow. We could see upwards of 3 feet of snow somewhere over central or northern North Dakota. In the warm sector of the storm, it's all about severe weather around Sioux Falls, and some of that warm conveyor belt of moisture is making its way toward eastern portions of South Dakota and southeast North Dakota, where it's all rain in Fargo, to Aberdeen, where we've been in the 30s, 40s, even low 50s today. But it's all about the heavy snow from Jamestown, especially west here, where in the Bismarck-Mandan area we've had pockets of moderate to heavy snow morning into the afternoon time frame, and now the snow just starting to ramp up more over northern North Dakota. I-94, as Alan mentioned, is closed, but in addition to North Dakota, also from Billings, really all the way in the extension here from Billings, Montana to Jamestown, I-94 is closed in both directions. Many counties now under a no travel advised over central and eastern North Dakota, and a few others in a travel alert. I think those will be upgraded to red here before too long. Much more to cover in a few more minutes, but for now, I'll send it back to you.
And now back to the weather. I hope we didn't get another inch of snow since we last talked at the top of the show, Kevin.
Well, the snowfall rates, Alan, are about an inch an hour or so. So we might be looking at about maybe another half inch or so. And that's just the rate all night long here, at least the next couple of hours. The impacts timeline, we're now going from conditions which weren't as bad earlier to a lot worse tonight here Tuesday night. We've got extreme impacts expected for the Bismarck, Dickinson areas and significant impacts for tonight, Minot, Williston, and Jamestown. And then we flip over to the extreme for Minot tomorrow into tomorrow night. Williston, we may not quite get to that extreme category, but it doesn't mean it's not going to be significant from here on out. We've got 20 degrees in Williston, well below freezing, 21 in Dickinson, 27 in Bismarck. We really never got much rain, a little bit of grapple earlier today before sunrise, but it's been all snow since sunrise. 35 in Mobridge, but a lot warmer with that conveyor belt of warmer air in Aberdeen, where it's 43 degrees, still 30s in Fargo. The winds continue howling, though, from the north-northeast, sustained around 30, but gusting to between 40 and 50 miles per hour over southern North Dakota. Not as windy farther toward the north, but that's short-lived here because the high winds will really ramp up again for tomorrow after sunrise. Visibility has really dropped virtually everywhere in the first warm viewing area, about 1/3 of a mile in Bismarck and Dickinson, Minot as well, 1/2 mile in Williston. So here we go, taking a look at some of the regional DOT cameras, first in Bowman, where the snow has been coming down, and some pillow drifting as well. Of course, the interstate's closed, so not being cleared right now. But again, we can just get an idea that there's snow everywhere. US 2 open in Williston. The snow is coming down. It will pick up in intensity as the winds also increase later on tonight. You get the idea. It's just a really good idea to stay off the roads, if at all possible. Get a few stragglers there on the interstate, but it is officially closed here. No telling when it's going to reopen. Me personally, I think it's probably going to be at the earliest on Thursday. It might even be Friday, the way this storm system is shaping up. Lots to show you on our Sky Tracker Doppler radar. Again, denote the areas of the moderate to even the heavier snow with the darker blue shades. Again, in the Bismarck-Mandan area. It's even snowing southeast Montana, southwest North Dakota, again around Bowman. Maybe not quite to the extent or the intensity as farther toward the east or north, but the snow is going to begin ramping up even more. Williston, you will see some more snow. It may not be as heavy where you get an inch or 2 1.2 snowfall rate per hour. I don't think we're going to see that, but we are going to see significant accumulations of snow here in Williston and surrounding areas for KUMV watchers here over the next several hours. So viewers, be mindful that it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better, because we've got these blizzard conditions I think are going to back up a little bit farther toward the west into eastern Montana throughout the night. In fact, our storm hour-by-hour forecast easily showing that here, with temperatures around 20 degrees during the mid-evening time frame near the Montana-North Dakota border. 11 o'clock tonight, our temperatures stay steady for Bismarck, right around 27 degrees. But again, let's walk through this and we'll see the snow bands. This is 7 o'clock in the morning. It doesn't look any different than where we are right now. So it's going to snow all night tonight and really all day tomorrow. Let's continue to put this forward here. And because the storm system itself, the center of the low, is going to stall over Grand Forks tomorrow afternoon, that's going to whip around periods of snow back through Montana and most of North Dakota. All the while, temperatures are only going to be in the 20s, along with winds increasing tomorrow, northwest between 30 and 50 miles per hour. This is a long-term event. Remember, snow can add up over a length of time, and that's why it's going to, and that's why we're looking at some places seeing an excess of 2 feet of snow. Even Thursday afternoon snow showers will continue. So from this moment forward, how much additional snow can we expect? Over 2 feet in Minot. We break it down here, and again, 20 to 30 inches of snow storm total for Dickinson toward Minot. Bismarck, I think, will top out around 18 to 24. Williston, right now, I still think between a foot and a foot and a half of snow. Less for Jamestown because they've had a little bit more in the way of dry air.
So we're going to hope for a slower melt.
It's going to snow, to be a very slow snow melt, and we might still see some residual effects through early May.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Some of us have been getting a breather from the blizzard while it rages on elsewhere.
Even if you don't have heavy snow right now, there's going to be plenty of wind. Let's go to Kevin Lawrence with the latest.
Monica and Alan, thank you very much. Good evening, everybody. The blizzard continues. It's not going to get better tonight. It will, in fact, get worse for many places. Then conditions will begin to improve for our Thursday. But road closures, it's a long list here. Most of North Dakota is shut down, at least the major thoroughfares here. We've got I-94 from Glendive to Mandan, but then 94 from Bismarck to Jamestown westbound is closed. U.S. Highway 2 from the Montana line to Doubles Lake, and then 52 from Jamestown to the Canadian border. 85 and 83 closed as well. From Bismarck to Canada now. That is a new addition here over the past hour. No travel advised. Just about every county here in the first warn viewing area of North Dakota, but honestly, no travel advised in eastern Montana, and the conditions aren't much better in northern South Dakota. Look live here in Dickinson, where the snow is still coming down. It's also a ground blizzard, given the 20-plus inches of snow on the ground already, with winds in excess of 50 miles per hour. In fact, gusting to 53 with 20 degrees. This is in town, folks. You do not want to be traveling out and about. You could be stranded in no time. Check out Minot, where we got winds at 50 miles per hour. The visibility is almost zero, especially in open areas. And this is in town at our KMOT studio on 16th Street Southwest. It is really a mess in town. Bismarck, the snow is a lot lighter, but it's still coming down. 27 degrees. We've got gusts upwards of 43 miles per hour. Periods of heavy snow continue in Minot. Bismarck, Mandan, we've got light snow for the most part, but again, the winds will be increasing into the night, and it's only going to get worse before it gets better. More SkyTracker Doppler radar and snow totals to pass along a little bit later in the cast.
It's scary when you can't really see where you're going, Kevin.
Zero visibility, and it gets even worse for tonight. Of course, we lose daylight, and it's just going to be a real problem. A brand new update. It's been updating all day long here, but Glendive to Mandan, I-94 closed. But now, unlike a few minutes ago, I-94 has reclosed both directions here from Bismarck to Jamestown. Still open intercity, but just be very, very careful. In most roads, major thoroughfares are closed here in western and central North Dakota. Pinwheeling around this surface low, which continues in eastern North Dakota, is the heavy snow bands on the western periphery of the storm. Very tight pressure gradient. It's that wraparound moisture really hitting Minot hard here. And look at the waves of moisture still coming in from Bottineau County, Rolette County, right into McHenry and Ward counties here, with pockets of moderate to heavy snow. That continues for several more hours. The snow's lighter in Bismarck, Mandan, but it's still coming down. The winds have increased, getting even strong stronger later into the night. It's still snowing back farther toward northeast Montana and here into western North Dakota. Williston, you've got some snow, but not to the extent of north central North Dakota, where it's a lot heavier around Minot. But it's also closer to the radar base, so it might look like there's stronger returns, even though it's still snowing in Montana and northwest North Dakota. Again, this is the story for tonight. This system stays here. It stays put all night. It just wobbles back and forth a little bit. It's not really moving. So what we have now stays with us at least the next 12 hours. Snow totals. I know this has been a source of contention for some that we're not reporting enough because we don't get that many reports during a major blizzard. So here we go with several reports here. Glenburn topping the list at 24 inches, nearly that in Dickinson. Grassy Butte and Botno in the 20-inch club at 22 inches. Minot and Stanton 21, 20 inches in Glenolan and Logan. Meanwhile, other reports, Minot again over 20 inches of snow. Velva 19 to 23 inches, a range there. Crane, Montana, 1.5 foot of snow. New Salem about 18 inches. Meanwhile, Harvey and Hazen 17 inches. Bismarck so far at 14 inches of snow. About that in Mandan, maybe between 14 and 16 inches. Williston, an estimation of about 10 inches of snow here in the western Star City. Plentywood at 6 inches of snow. So again, it's really coming down. Look at all the snow drifts. They're all over the place. Even the animals having a hard time here. Of course, it's calving season after all. We're all a part of the storm. Everybody doing a good job, not only reporting on the snow totals, but all the Sky Spy photos. We appreciate each and every one. Look at this photo in Velva. Cars buried there somewhere under the snow. You might as well make fun of it and have a good time dreaming of summer. Just think July when it might be over 100 degrees. You'll appreciate that. And we certainly appreciate all of our farmers and ranchers. Work goes on. There's never a day off. Bowman, we've had zero visibility. This sets the stage for the entire first warm viewing area. So for some, you might as well have some fun and maybe just disappear in a snowbank. That's how things have been here for today. Got to have a bit of a sense of humor as well. Additional snow. How much more can we expect on top of what has already fallen? Minot could be again the epicenter of another 6 to 8 inches. Bismarck, Mandan, maybe a couple more inches, upwards of 4, along with Dickinson, the most though toward the Magic City. Right now we've got temps here in the 20s. We're below freezing everywhere. It's that howling wind behind this low pressure, resulting in some gusts upwards of 50, even 60 miles per hour. It's gusting now to 44 in Bismarck, but plus 50 toward Dickinson. And that just means for the remainder of the night, what you see right here continues on and on with more snow, more blizzard conditions lasting through the middle of the day tomorrow. A little bit better by Easter weekend.
All right, a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.